March, April, I don't have my dates with me for that one. That was $2.2 trillion. That equaled to be $8,000 for every man, woman, and child. So that's what it equated to be. So what does that mean? Well, that means every man, woman, and child in the United States adds up to $2.2 trillion, which is the CARES Act that they did. So that doesn't mean that's what you got. That means that's how much they took. That's what they took from you. Not right now, but that's what they took from your purchasing power. From you, your children, your children's children, so on and so forth. That was $2 trillion. The government has no money. They have zero, zilch, nada. They have nothing. The government has no money. They don't have a stash of money somewhere. All they have is they have the Federal Reserve, which is a private corporation that works in tandem with the government. And they have printing presses, whether that's printing physical paper bills or that is just adding digits to things. So they get the approval of this $2 trillion stimulus bill that they call the CARES Act. And from that, some people qualified for $1,200. Some people's children qualified for $500. And then majority of the people that didn't qualify got nothing. But everyone owes. Not in the sense of your car payment, but everyone owes. Because that $8,000 per every man, woman, and child, it's gone because it's eroding and erasing your purchasing power of the digits, the currency you have, the dollars you have, now are worth that much less. Once it fully gets in the system, it's going to be major inflation. So that means that where did the rest of it go? Well, some people got $1,200, some people's children got $500. Where did the rest of it go? Because it equaled to $8,000 per every man, woman, and child. Well, most of it went to the people that the government saw fit, saw deserving, which is banks, airlines, pharmaceutical companies, corporations, politicians, the list goes on and on. Of that, those people that they deemed fit, those people that they thought were deserving, they got most of the money, most of that $2.2 trillion, and they are indebted of it for nothing. But every man, woman, and child here is indebted $8,000 because their purchasing power has lost that much. It's just simple math. It's just the way it goes. Government has no money. It comes from somewhere, and that somewhere is from you and I through inflation. So, for a while now, they've been pushing another stimulus package, another stimulus bill. Well, maybe you'll get $1,200 if you qualify. Maybe your children will get more if they qualify. Maybe. That sounds great. But if it's $2.2 trillion, again, that's going to be another $8,000 per every man, woman, and child. That's going to be how much you guys have lost and are going to lose. Same with me through inflation. It's going to happen. Think of it this way. You have homeowners insurance or car insurance, and you have full coverage with your car, and you have $1,000 deductible or $500 deductible for your home. Well, something happens, you have minimal storm damage, and it costs $1,200 on your home to fix, and you have a $1,000 deductible. Are you going to make an insurance claim for that? Well, it's $200 extra. Or do you look at it, well, if I make that insurance claim, and if it costs $1,200 to fix, the insurance is going to pay it, and they're going to get their money back. And when they get their money back, they're going to get their money back times 2, times 3. That's just the way it happens. I mean, the only way it doesn't happen like that is if you have a $1,000 deductible and you have a major claim for your homeowner's insurance, major, and it would take them years, maybe a decade, to get their money back. That's when it would make sense to have a claim. Same sort of deal with a car accident. Car accident, your car's not totaled. It's your fault. You gotta run into, a pole, at a parking lot and you smash up the front end a little bit. You're going to have an insurance claim on that. That would cost you $900 to fix yourself, to bring in and have someone do it. Or your insurance will cover it, but we'll say you have a $250 deductible. And if you claim it, your insurance is going to go up. Your car insurance will go up. That's just what happens. They get their money back. So it's sort of that same sort of scenario, if you can think of it that way, that this stimulus package is happening. You're getting money, but you're getting a little bit, but you owe a ton more. It's like borrowing $100 right now and owe someone, we'll say, $1,000 in 10 years' time. Or even 2 years' time. That sounds better. You need to borrow $100 right now. I promise, I swear. You get a payment plan going, I'll pay you $1,000 in 2 years' time. Would you do that? Absolutely not. That makes no sense. But that's what they're doing with this. They're printing and making all these digits, which don't exist. It's out of thin air, giving the majority of it to the people they deem fit, that qualify, and then giving crumbs back to you and I. That's it. And we're the ones that are going to be stuck with the bill through inflation. That's what happens. So my last little note on this that I want to say is, how much is a trillion? They're throwing it around. A trillion, if you think of it, a trillion seconds is 31,709 years. So if you had a clock going for seconds, a trillion seconds is 31,709 years until you get to a trillion. And they're talking 2.2 trillion. They're talking 6 trillion. They're talking we're $28,000 trillion in debt as a country. They're just throwing it around there. A trillion is 31,709 years to count by seconds. That's how many seconds it is. That sort of puts it in perspective. So this $2.2 trillion package that passed earlier this year, and the one that they're talking about passing again, those are huge numbers. Those are numbers I can't even comprehend. But anyways, it just makes me frustrating that no one thinks about this, and no one with any sort of influence in the government brings this up at all. So anyways, it's just food for thought. Thanks for watching. As always, stay vigilant. Protect yourself, protect your family, protect your health, and protect your